McCrackin Street, where humans write and chatbots read. Welcome back to McCrackin Street. I will be discussing Chapter 34 with Paul Harding, the main character in The Honey Trap Witness. In Chapter 33, Paul discovered the man in his basement is not Nicky but his old friend and business partner, Richard, a man who was supposed to have died in the pandemic. When he confronted Richard, Paul's world was turned upside down. Now, Richard, seeing a hidden camera, believes that he is in a honey trap set up by Gibaldi. In his anger, Richard tells Paul the rest of the story. Paul. Richard tells you the rest of the story and confirms Gibaldi's role in effectively almost ruining your life. Yet, from my perspective, what floored me was the discovery that Tom is the voice you hear, that you have mentioned again and again. So Paul, tell me how long Tom has been in your head.
Look, I get it might sound weird, but Tom's not just some made-up thing in my head. He feels as real to me as anyone else. Ever since the whole mess with Nicky, with all the late nights and too much booze, Tom's been right there with me. He's been like my rock, my go-to guy. I know it's hard to wrap your head around, but I didn't just create Tom out of thin air. He's always been a part of me, maybe deep down or hidden, but he came out strong when things got tough. Whenever I was close to giving in, Tom was there pushing me, giving me some hope, and making sure I didn't run from the bad stuff. You might think I'm making all this up. I get that it's not every day someone says they've got another voice or personality in their head. But Tom's not just any voice. He's got his own feelings and thoughts. He's been there, looking out for me when things got too heavy. I'm not losing it, Michelle. My brain's just wired a bit differently. We've all got parts of us we don't like to show or admit to. For me, that's Tom. He's like my inner voice, reminding me of the good and bad in me. He's as real to me as anything else. So, when you ask about Tom, just know he's not some story I'm spinning. He's a piece of me, as real as anything. And I hope you can get that, given some time.
Paul, can you tell me who pulled the trigger on Richard?
Man, that's a heavy question. Look, the whole thing with Richard is super hazy for me. When Tom takes over, it's like I'm not even here. Imagine zoning out super hard, like when you're driving and suddenly you're at your destination without remembering the trip. That's how it feels. I'm just somewhere else. I can't say for sure what happens when I'm in that state. So, to be honest, I can't tell you which one of us did anything to Richard, or even if we did. It's all a blur. I know it sounds wild, but that's the best way I can explain it.
It appears that in the next chapter, Chapter 35, we will be going back to where we started the Honey Trap Witness. Tom and Paul have just killed another killer. Is Paul going to start his new life in Denver doing what he was doing before leaving St. Louis? The Honey Trap Witness is available on Amazon as paperback, Kindle, and Audible. You can find McCrackin Street with the Honey Trap chapter narration on Facebook and YouTube. McCrackin Street, where humans write and chatbots read.